Here's the short video copy you requested. Alara had always been drawn to the forgotten stories of old things, a fascination that led her to a dusty antique shop tucked away on a cobblestone side street. It was there amidst the clutter of bygone eras that she found it, an ornate antique mirror. Its frame, a masterpiece of tarnished silver filigree, seemed to coil like sleeping serpents around the beveled glass. Something about it called to her, a silent magnetic pull she couldn't ignore. Back in her apartment, she hung it on the wall where it immediately dominated the room, its surface reflecting the dim light with a depth that felt almost liquid. It was beautiful, but as she stepped back to admire it, a shiver of unease traced its way down her spine. The mirror felt like an eye, ancient and watchful. Later that evening, while brushing her hair, Alara noticed something amiss. Her reflection, the familiar face she'd known her whole life, seemed to lag, its movements a fraction of a second behind her own. She stopped, her hand frozen midair. Her reflection stopped too, but its eyes held a stillness that was deeply unsettling. She dismissed it as a trick of the light, a symptom of a tired mind after a long day. But then she saw it. A flicker in the periphery, a dark, fleeting shadow that darted behind her mirrored form and vanished. Her heart hammered against her ribs. She was alone in the apartment, she knew, but the reflection in the glass suggested otherwise, hinting at a presence that had no right to be there. The uncanny occurrences escalated, weaving a tapestry of quiet terror. The reflection was no longer just a delayed image. It had taken on a life of its own. It became a doppelganger. One morning, as Alara stared into the glass with a somber expression, the face looking back at her slowly, deliberately, curled its lips into a wide, predatory smile. The blood drained from her face. It wasn't her smile, it was a grotesque mockery, sharp and knowing. The disconnect was terrifying. She was the puppet, and the thing in the mirror was pulling the strings. In a moment of sheer dread, she saw the doppelganger's hand rise, pressing flat against the glass from the inside, its ghostly fingers splayed as if trying to feel its way into her world. The barrier between reality and the nightmare within the mirror was thinning. The true horror began when the boundary dissolved completely. As Alara stood paralyzed with fear, the doppelganger's hand, once a mere image, began to push through the mirror's unyielding surface. The glass rippled like water as the pale, spectral fingers emerged, stretching into the air of her room. An icy coldness radiated from the breach, a chill that had nothing to do with the temperature and everything to do with the abomination crawling out of its silver-framed prison. A strangled scream caught in her throat. The sight of that disembodied hand, followed by the slow emergence of an arm, broke her trance. Instinct took over. With a surge of adrenaline, she lunged for the heaviest object she could find, a brass table lamp. Swinging the lamp with all her might, Alara brought it crashing down against the mirror. The sound was explosive, a deafening shatter that echoed through the apartment as the glass splintered into 1,000 glittering fragments. The spectral hand vanished in the instant of impact. Shaking, breathing in ragged gasps, she stared at the devastation. A final shot reveals the shattered mirror shards scattered across the floor. The malevolent doppelganger is gone. In the broken pieces, countless fractured images of Alara's own terrified, tear-streaked face stare back at her, alone once more. The haunting presence had been vanquished, but the memory of its cold touch would linger forever in the silence of her home.